the moment bereaved families and survivors of the Nottingham attack have fought for.
Today is not simply the start of an inquiry, it's a test of whether this country is prepared to confront failure and fix it. Barnaby Webber, Grace O'Malley Kumar, Ian Coates, 3 innocent people who lost their lives in circumstances that were entirely and repeatedly preventable.
Her Honour Deborah Taylor, the chair, made it clear that the families had waited a long time for this inquiry. For them, it's been 3 years since their loved ones were brutally killed on the streets of Nottingham.
Over the next few months, I and the inquiry team will ensure, as far as we're able, that we reach a summit with a clear view of both the past and the way ahead.
The inquiry started with an outline of the early hours of the morning on the 13th of June 2023. It was 4 a.m. when Barnaby Webber was attacked first. Then Grace O'Malley Kumar was stabbed repeatedly as she tried to help Barnaby. The first phone call to police was 3 minutes later. An hour later, Valdo Calocane attempted to break into Seeleyhurst House, a hostel on Mapley Road. Just minutes later, he attacked the caretaker Ian Coates and then stole his van. During the next 20 minutes, Valdo Calocane severely injured 3 other people. He was finally arrested at 5:34 a.m., over 90 minutes after he first killed Barnaby and Grace. What this inquiry will outline is what led up to these brutal attacks. In proceedings, Valdo Calocane is called VC. Here's one incident where he assaulted his housemate, Christopher.
Christopher will give evidence as to how VC tried to punch him and how they started wrestling before VC put Christopher in a headlock. You'll be shown a video of this incident recorded by another flatmate. You will hear how Christopher called the police twice that night, once when he was released from the headlock and a second time when VC prevented 2 flatmates from leaving the flat.
Dr. Kumar, how have you found the evidence that you've been hearing this morning and the opening statement?
Some of it's just been truly shocking. Some of it that we didn't know. Valdo Calocane was still hearing voices. They may have decreased in volume, so they just left him alone. The point is, how high in volume do hallucinations and delusions have to be before you act? He was hallucinating all the way through, and yet they did nothing.
On days like this, it must be so difficult for you to relive, the worst moment of your life. Why do you feel compelled to still carry on and still want to find out answers about what happened?
In her name, in my daughter's name, my brave and beautiful daughter who we lost at the attacks.
Those who were injured by Valdo Calocane are also represented at the inquiry.
Obviously, it's very difficult for the survivors. They have to hear a lot of detail, and it's very distressing. So, yeah, it's an important day, but it's a traumatic day for them.
What's striking about this opening statement is the number of failures that led up to that horrific day on the 13th of June 2023. The number of violent incidents that occurred that weren't properly investigated or followed up. I spoke to Barnaby Webber's mum and Ian Coates' son in the interval there off camera, and they told me how shocked they were that Valdo Calocane repeatedly lied about taking his medication, lied about his condition. What they want is accountability. In the immediate aftermath, the outpouring of grief in Nottingham was palpable. For the families, that pain hasn't gone away, and they're determined to get answers. The inquiry continues tomorrow.